Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for August 12th through 13th, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my love flow is nurtured by universal flow. And today and tomorrow we have Mars retrograding back into Capricorn. So it hasn't quite done that yet. It's going to be doing that. I have blocked out my clock. About 2 hours from this recording, so right about the time this comes up. So we've been sitting with Mars at that 0 degrees energy, with Mars moving back into Capricorn for about a month. We'll be here for a month. This is a really interesting time to review our actionary energies, and so much has come up through the final eclipse of 2018 around this. I'm actually going to start with something that I talked about with a friend just a little bit ago. We were talking about the eclipse and various things that came up. And for me, deep loneliness in the sense of abandonment came up. Not a surprise after this year. And one of the questions she said is like, well, do you think that you're abandoning yourself? Because that's one of the things. You know, when you feel abandonment, oftentimes there's kind of a sense of abandoning yourself. And what came up for me when she asked me that was, I don't feel like I am abandoning myself now, but I feel like through much of my life, through making choices to make my family happy, or making choices to make me fit in society, those were the times where I really found myself abandoning myself, where I took a left turn from my soul and, took the easy path. I don't know if it would never necessarily be the easy path, but took the expected path. How about that? Took the expected path. And with Mars retrograding back into Capricorn, this sign that rules structure and society, this is a good time to notice where you may have taken those turns on the path where it was the expected path, but it wasn't necessarily your path. And this isn't about shame or blame or any of that. This is about noticing for you, because as we just take these few days of Mars retrograde in Capricorn, let's see, it goes direct on the 27th. So we have about 2 weeks of this energy, of it retrograding back and through. This is the time to take that stock. Where have you abandoned your soul? Where have you abandoned that soul purpose? And where have you taken that action? This is a great time, too, to remind ourselves back when Mars was direct in Aquarius. If you have been watching me for that long, one of the things I talked about was finding that alignment within yourself, finding that energetic alignment, because ultimately that energetic alignment is going to help you recalibrate your way back onto your personal path. So remember that energy that you tuned into then and bring that with you into this Mars retrograde in Capricorn so that you can find your way back onto your perfect path. And let's just say these little detours that we've had to take, these left turns off the path, no shame, no blame, no wrong in them, because those were things that needed to be done for the lessons. So ultimately, bless yourself for those lessons. Do not blame yourself. But now we're rising into the next level where we can shift from that place where we do the things because it's expected and rather do the things because it's a soul yes. Soul yeses all the way from here on out. That being said, some interesting energies going on. We just had that final eclipse, like I said. Whew. We're still working through a few more retrogrades, just a few more days of all of these intense retrogrades. So really utilize this time to keep digging in deeper. The moon in Virgo. The moon in Virgo is inviting us to listen to our body in and through this. So again, I didn't record after the eclipse. I took a break and I slept a lot and I needed that. And hopefully you have been doing the same, taking that rest, listening to your physical body. One other thing I want to talk about. People have been, I've talked about this with so many people. One of my clients was like, I'm a Pac-Man. And made me so happy to hear that. So many have been eating so much. And again, it's part of like the rebalancing. We're getting so many upgrades in and through this time Try to make your choices be healthy, and also try to notice if there is any suppression going on. Sometimes we eat to distract ourselves, just like any other potential addiction. So just take a second to notice what's going on within you before you eat, but then listen to your body. What is your body craving? And nourish it in and through this, and this will help you in the moving forward. That being said, there are definitely some interesting energies working us as usual. Neptune and Jupiter are working together. So Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Jupiter direct in Scorpio. Jupiter direct in Scorpio, it dredged up a lot of shadows through its retrograde. It's just been direct a month. Neptune retrograde is releasing a lot of karmic contracts at this time. So between these old shadows that are popping up and the release of these, don't do that. Oh. Leave that up, please. That's my light. Disruption. Thank you. Between that, we are still losing my light. Oh well. We are it's so funny. I have written here, I have to show you because it's right here as part of the thing. Invite disruption. So we'll get into that. But between those connections happening right now, we may realize that some of these connections that we've had, some of the shadows that we've been working through are related to those. So as we release these contracts, release these energies, we're also potentially releasing some of these shadows within us. Our job in here is not to put the blame on the other. Our job is to see, again, where that resonance is within us. And I also think this relates to very strongly to this Mars retrograde in Capricorn energy. Trying to get the words. Those shadows, these contracts, where have they kept you complacent? Where have you gone? I have it again. We talked about this a few weeks ago. I have going with the flow in reverse. So where have you been going with the flow, but this flow isn't your flow? Where are you going with the flow in accordance with these potential shadows or in accordance with these potential contracts? Not your contract, not necessarily your shadows. Where has that been moving you and flowing you? And that's how I have written, invite the disruption. If things are falling away right now, if things are being disrupted for you, if your light is being disrupted, how about that timing? If that is happening to you, there's a reason for that. Be willing to go investigate. And one of the things I think we're going to find is some of these disruptions. This is so deep, so I hope you get this, but this is what's coming, and I really do get it, but it's hard to put into words. A lot of these disruptions, these shadows, these things are going to point out where there are still heart walls that are blocking you from your own personal forward momentum. So welcome them in, be willing to clear, be willing to bless and release, and be willing to notice in yourself where it leads to this energy. All right, so let's dig in a little bit more into the astro stuff before I finish because my computer has not been liking going long. It's too hot. Moon and Virgo making all of the connections. What I like about this, Moon and Virgo connecting to Jupiter, Moon and Virgo connecting to Neptune, Moon and Virgo connecting to Pluto, Moon and Virgo connecting to Mars. Through all of these energies is coming awareness, and this awareness is coming through the physical body. Sit, be present with your physical body, especially if you are getting confused. If you are getting confused, definitely get out of your headspace and get into your body and start seeing what you feel in here. I think you will feel the places where you need to make those shifts. So let me know about that because that's a really interesting thing. That moon connecting to Pluto energy, to me, this is kind of finishing up that energy of that first eclipse. That first eclipse was working with Pluto. There was a lot of disruption that did go on with that, and that was meant to be as part of the transformation. So I think we're kind of like finishing up these cycles so we can fully embrace the cycles that are happening right now. But just notice if there are any tie-ins to what was happening during the time of that first eclipse. What was that? Was that July 27th? July 12th. The first eclipse, July 12th. What was happening for you? We moved here, right then. So some little tie-ups are going on at that time. Moon connecting to Mars. Moon in Virgo. Setting up new habits that help you connect to your path versus the path that you have been taking. So tune into that. What new habits are coming along with you now on this part of your journey? Now that you've gone through all of the changes so far that have happened in 2018, where are you at? Can you shift your routine? Moon in Virgo loves that routine, but the routine that you were using no longer needs to be that routine. It needs to shift. It needs to evolve, just like you have been evolving. Finally, we have the moon shifting into Libra, and that brings me to my offering, my yin reading. It's going into the asteroids, including Pallas, so you can see where you may be needing to work through some patriarchal energies, along with the moon and along with Venus, to tune into your feminine yin essence to bring that forward. We are going to have Venus going into a retrograde, and I think that's going to be a reinvention of how you express your yin moving forward, especially after this Mars retrograde. So this is a really great time to get that reading. It is $66. You can email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. I put it under the video if you are interested in that reading, and I will send you an invoice. The cards. Gotta disrupt the flow. Disrupt the flow, because it's like when you have a blockade, the flow has created kind of a little bit of a dam around your heart. And so it's time to take down this dam. So we have to first interrupt the flow so that we can find the dam. That's going to help you get rid of some of this. You are carrying guilt. You came here to be who you are. You did not come here to be anyone else's version of you. You did not come here to be society's version of you. Let go of the guilt. That is nothing but a burden keeping you from reaching your highest light. Trust in yourself and trust in your inner child, because your inner child, chances are, is like in the background being like, hey, yeah, you can do it. Hey, woo, yeah. So trust in yourself in and through this. I have a bunch of cards that came out from this deck. The main card that I'm going to look at is Her Grace, and this is so perfect. And then I'll touch on the other two. The Goddess is awakening within your life. It may be within your own body, within a sensual deepening of relationship with your own body or with the body of another, through expanding creativity, a sudden burst or feeling you cannot logically explain, a desire to move, to dance, to express yourself, to sing, to write music, to draw, to play in nature, to swim and to collect shells, and lie on your back in the moonlight gazing at the stars. Let her reach you. She is calling to you from ancient times, calling you to allow her more deeply into your life. Celebrate the divine feminine. She is coming to life for you. Whether man or woman, your life is about to be touched by her magic, never to be the same again. This oracle brings you a message. There is a woman who brings divine blessings into your life, who is trying to connect with you more deeply. The blessing may be one that is obvious or one that is hidden or a challenge. The woman may be in your own body, or if you're female, or in your inner feminine, if you're a male. It may be a spiritual or physical being, the great mother, your lover, your sister, your dearest friend. It may be a woman as yet unknown to you, but who holds a soul contract with you, an agreement predestined to awake you. The empowerment will come to you not by rejecting what is offered by this feminine presence, but by embracing it and finding your truth through it. This is exciting because it means you are growing. You are entering into the feminine temples of wisdom and finding a home there. The other cards are... where is the other card? The other cards are, she is the moon, trusting the unfolding, the cycles of the things in your life, and the breaking. And I want to read a part of the breaking too, because I read this the other day, but it's so important to keep remembering. Where is it? This part. The oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness, anger, despair, or frustration you may feel, you are being pulled apart, not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine. This disruption is meant to be. This disruption is meant to be invited in. Invite in these disruptions, these changes at this time. It strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It's going to be the making of you. So that's it. If you would like the yin reading, email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Other readings, half-hour readings, hour readings, natal chart readings, all of those, email me. I also do readings with the disruptor, Joe. Those have been going really beautiful. He's very intuitive and psychic and helpful. Very beautiful insight. And it brings wholeness to readings. So you can order any of those by emailing me. Besides that, I will do my best to be here tomorrow. The better it gets, the better it gets. And there is enough love in the world for you. Namaste.